I'm gonna show you how to build your credit. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike the Credit Guy, the biggest. If this is your first time to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That way you find out every time we drop new content, you're gonna hear about it first. We talk about everything credit here. So if you haven't already, hit that like button, that little like button. That way this video goes out to way more people, okay? In case you didn't know, I am the owner and founder of Limitless Culture. We created the most advanced DIY program in the industry. At $55.99 a month, our system will create custom Metro 2 attack letters, attacking any negative items on your credit reports and all your personal information that's not accurate. Imagine that. Our system will create your letters, email them to you, you print them, you mail them out, certified mail, and you're done. It's just that simple. You don't have to join any Facebook groups, you know, those archaic things. You don't have to read any modules. You don't have to do any master courses. We cut all that nonsense out. Our system will create those custom letters, email them to you, you print them, you mail them out, certified mail, and you're done. Link is always going to be in the description for our DIY program, the most advanced in the industry. On today's episode, we're going to talk about building your credit file. Okay, I don't refer to credit reports or your credit score because none of that matters until you start to build your credit file. Okay, what is on your credit file matters at the end of the day. And the biggest mistake that people make is they just start slapping all kinds of things on it. You know, I'm gonna get this credit card, I'm gonna get this one. You know, I'm gonna get so many credit cards, it's gonna make my score shoot to the moon. That is the biggest credit myth that people do not understand. You're making a huge mistake by adding all these lines of credit. And now, guess what? Even if you close those lines of credit, they're gonna be on your credit report for up to 10 years. All right, so here's the biggest don't. We're gonna start with the don'ts first, and then we're gonna get to the do's at the end, okay? Because it's very important that we cover this part. Stop getting subprime lending credit cards, like the Credit Ones, First Premier, or now they're called Premier, okay? And then, of course, my all-time favorite, the Open Sky. Once you get those on your credit file, and then like like 6 months later, you're like, all right, I need to go get some more credit cards because my credit score is not moving fast enough. Stop, okay? Now you're inside of the subprime credit web, okay? Now you've got these credit cards on your credit reports. So now when you go apply, your score's not that high. Then you got all these subprime credit cards on there. So now it's gonna throw more subprime credit cards at you, like a Mission Lane card. Not horrible, not the greatest, no point in having it, okay? The Milestone credit card, also another not so great, but why have it on your credit report, okay? And then there's another one, what's it called? The Aspire credit card, okay? The Aspire credit card is another one that gets into the web. Stay away from these credit cards because they're pointless. They all have annual fees, some of them don't, okay? But the limits don't go that high, and you're just fluffing up your credit file and putting a bunch of crappy credit cards on it. The biggest mistake you're making is you continue to add more credit, and it's not necessary because every time you add a new line of credit, you're reducing your average age of credit. So you're actually doing more harm than good, and you're adding a low limit credit card to your credit file, which doesn't have a huge positive impact, okay? So stop applying for new credit and let your credit age, okay? When you get a new credit card, especially when you're starting out fresh, you don't want to get anything else for another 6 to 12 months. And you need to be very picky. Don't let anybody make you believe that you need to have 15 credit cards in order to be successful. You only need to have, honestly, 3 to 6 credit cards maximum, and then 2 to 3 installment loans, preferably an auto loan and a mortgage, or some type of personal loan or a line of credit, something like that from a bank or a credit union. All this other stuff is completely unnecessary. Stop adding credit cards to your credit file thinking that it's gonna overpower and get you to a higher credit score faster. No, growing your credit and letting it age, letting those credit cards gain age is what gets you to a higher credit score. So as an example, you have one credit card, okay? You have one credit card, your secured credit card, and all you can think about, I need more credit, I need more credit. No, you don't. Use your one credit card, use it, pay it off in full, use it, pay it off in full. If it's a $500 credit limit, try to use that credit limit as many times as you can. So let's say $500, try to use up to $1,000 or maybe $1,500 in a month. just by using your everyday bills, your light bill, your water bill, your cable, your car insurance, your gas, okay, for your car, your cell phone, all those things, pay them with a credit card and then pay it off. And then in 6 to 8 months, they'll raise the credit limit. But if you're not really using the credit card and you're carrying a balance, then they're not going to raise the credit limit because you owe them money, okay? So use your active credit and raise those credit limits before you even try to get to another credit card, okay? Because it's not gonna help your credit file. You're just hurting your age. So again, use the credit card responsibly, pay it off in full every month. That should be your number one strategy when you're building your credit. You see a $300 or $500 credit limit. I see $300 or $500 that I can use at one time. Now that's kind of crazy, right? Because everyone's taught, don't use more than 30% of your available credit because that's bad. It's not bad, okay? Stop listening to that nonsense. You can use your credit card to pay for your cable bill, your cell phone bill, your water, your light, okay, your car insurance, gas for your car, when you go to the grocery store. Use your credit cards for all those things and then pay it off in full. You can make one payment a day. Use $500, let it post, and then pay it. Use $500, let it post, and then pay it. Now, in 6 to 8 months, the credit card company is going to be motivated to raise that credit limit because guess what? You're using the money. If you're not using it, they have no motivation to give you more money. You're just not using it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. That way you find out every time I go live or I drop new content, you're going to hear about it first. If there's anything specific you want me to talk about, drop it in the comment section. Drop some emojis in there so we can get this video going. Don't be afraid to ask a question. That's what we're here for, okay? And if you haven't already, hit that bell notification. That way you find out every time I go live, you're going to hear about it first. You never know when I'm going to pop up live. If you're looking to work on your credit, we did, in fact, create the most advanced DIY program in the industry. For $55.99 a month, our system will create custom Metro 2 attack letters, attacking any negative item on your credit report that is hurting you, and attack any personal information that is not accurate, okay? We're going to create those custom letters. Our system is going to email them to you. You print them out, send them out certified mail, and you're done. You don't have to read any modules or do any master classes or join any archaic Facebook groups. We cut all that nonsense out. Our system is just that simple. We simplified the process. Link is in the description for that. And if you need full service, we do offer full service credit management. We have a Metro 2 attack program, and we do offer a full service pre-litigation program that is designed to get you a free legal review by some attorneys. Imagine that. And also we do offer a full service identity theft program for people that have real identity theft issues. Links are always going to be in the description for those, okay? And anyone that joins the DIY program gets exclusive access into my custom app that is available for Android and Apple in those stores, okay? The custom app is designed to create a custom community. We're not censored, none of that nonsense. We can say and do as we please in there so we can help even more, okay? So it's gonna have some of my biggest videos, and we're gonna keep adding more to that library. Link is going to be in the description. And always remember, last part's the most important. All right, so we got all the do's out of the way. All the don'ts out of the way, okay? Now we're gonna cover the do's, okay? So I'm gonna give you an example of someone that has no credit, okay? This is an 18-year-old. He's my little brother. His name is Ruben Jr., okay? So Junior, as you can see, okay, you see him right on the screen, this strapping young man, came to me with no credit, all right? So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to add him as an authorized user to one of my credit cards, one of my 35 or 32, whatever I have, okay? But I'm gonna look for a credit card that has at least 5 years of payment history, not an American Express card, because American Express cards do not report previous payment history. Until they will only report from the moment you add that person on as an authorized user. So I looked for a credit card that had more than 5 years of payment history, and then I added him onto the credit card about 24, 48 hours before the closing date hit. I added him on as an authorized user, and then within 48 hours, once that report date hit, then he instantaneously had a credit score. Put it up on the screen. He went from 0 to no credit to a 751 overnight. Now, this is all great, but this doesn't mean it's over, okay? This is just the beginning. All right, so let me correct this. It was 2 credit cards that we added him to, okay? My team had to correct me. And so we added him to 2 credit cards. One of them had no balance, and the other one had a very small balance. Okay, it was less than 6%. Because I was like, oh, I didn't even know we were carrying a balance on that card, but we were. So we added them to those credit cards. This is very important to understand. Do not add anybody to a credit card where the credit card limit is maxed out. You're reporting 100% utilization. Do not do that. No late payments and no high utilization. Okay, this is very important. If you're going to help somebody grow their credit, you need to understand the rules and regulations of playing in the games of trade lines. So making sure that there's no balances and no late payments, okay, and perfect payment history, because they're going to get all of it instantaneously, and that's what put his credit score on steroids. Now, if for whatever reason something goes bad, meaning you start to carry high balances or you get a late payment on that credit card, and you know your family member or your friend is on there as an authorized user, immediately remove them from being an authorized user, because an authorized user is not responsible for paying on that credit card. Okay, the moment you remove them as an authorized user, it's going to take away that payment history and the negative with it. So that's how you can instantaneously fix that if you have an issue like that. The next step, after we've added on as an authorized user, you're going to say, go get a bunch of credit cards. Yes, go get, you know, the big blue bank, you know, Chase credit cards, get some American Expresses, some Citibanks. No, stop, okay? You're only on as an authorized user. You do not want to pull the trigger on big boy credit cards yet. You want to go for something like a Quicksilver card, okay? Because the other big banks can see that you're just an authorized user. You need to establish 1 or 2 trade lines in your name the moment you get that credit score. But you want to go after something that you know you're going to get approved for. A Quicksilver is a perfect beginner level entry credit card that you will get approved for, okay? If you go after, you know, the Freedom Flex or the Freedom Unlimited, you're going to get declined because you have no primaries in your name, and you also don't have any installment loans. You have a very thin credit profile. So people say, no, you should have went for the Freedom Flex, bro. No, I know that he was going to get declined, and guess what? I tried it just to prove it, and he got declined, okay? Because everyone's like, well, no, he can go. I was like, no, he's going to get declined. Okay, you know what? Let's do it. He's only got 1 hard inquiry. Let's go for it. And he got declined. So, again, I know what I'm talking about, and I've tested this with a lot of people. So, little bro made a huge mistake. He went into JCPenney's, and he was pressured into getting a store credit card for the 25% discount. He took the bait, and he got it. So now he calls me, oh my God, I think I messed up. I got a credit card. I'm like, oh my. I was like, I told you don't get anything, you know? And so he's like, I don't know. I got confused and I got the card. All right. So now you have a $3,000 credit limit on this card. Now you're stuck with it. Don't close it. He's like, no, I'll just close it. I was like, don't close it. You already did the damage. Now you have to ride this out. Okay. So don't get any store credit cards. Don't fall for that nonsense. Because you have a good credit score. You feel good about yourself. Don't do it. Be picky. Okay. Now, after you get the first credit card, you can go after a second credit card immediately, okay? Go after something like a Discover It, okay? You can go on the Discover It website. It's going to tell you if you're pre-qualified. Now, go for the secured one, if I were you, or the Discover It Cashback. But remember, you're going after credit cards that you know you're going to get approved for, and you don't want to use a lot of hard inquiries, so you just want to go for 1 or 2. So in case you haven't noticed, there is a button underneath my video that says donate. That is for Nicole's Wish. Put it up on the screen right here, okay? So now this is pretty awesome what we've been doing with this. I started a fundraiser to help donate to Nicole's Wish that is granting wishes for children with critical illnesses. Now this is pretty awesome, whether it be $1, $5, $2, or some of you big ballers, bust out your wallets. This is your time to flex your money on Make-A-Wish, okay? This is pretty awesome. So what Nicole's Wish does is they take all that money and they donate it into Make-A-Wish, and they help grant wishes. Now, I'll put it up right here so you can see it. We have already granted 5 wishes. We have 7 wishes that are pending and 12 wishes that have been adopted. That's pretty awesome. So anything you can do is going to be pretty awesome. I mean, what more could we ask for? We're going to help make some kids' wishes come true. So your next option to get a second credit card, besides the ones we just talked about, is going to be with your credit union, not your bank. Hear what I just said, your credit union. The moment you turned 18, you should have established a relationship with a credit union. Built it up for 6 to 8 months. Go watch my video on how to build a relationship with a credit union, okay? Do that for 6 to 8 months, And then guess what? Now you've got your Quicksilver, then you go after a big boy credit card at a credit union. That's where it's gonna matter, because once you've already established that relationship, you have a good credit score, a decent credit profile, now you're gonna have a higher chance to get a high limit credit card with a credit union, and you're building your credit file with high limit credit cards, not those crappy little low limit ones. All right, so your next move is you have your 2 authorized user accounts. Now you have your Quicksilver card and then your credit card from a credit union or secured credit card from a credit union. Next move is an installment loan. You want to go after a secured loan by your big credit union, okay? Don't go after like the selfs and stuff like that if you don't need to. You want to keep that fintech stuff off your credit report if you don't need it, okay? But if you can use self. That is another good installment loan product, but we want to put big bank stuff on your credit profile, okay? That's why like PenFed, Navy Federal, DCU, those are big financial institutions, not fintech companies. This makes a big deal when you're building your credit profile, because we want to go after the big boy credit cards, don't we? When you do your secured loan, do it for a minimum of 2 years, okay? Remember that. Don't do anything less, because you're going to open up a new account. You're going to reduce your average age of credit. You need to make it worth your while. 2+ years is going to be ideal. If you could do 5 years, even better. Pay off 80% of the loan once the loan becomes active. Put the remaining 20% on auto pay for the next 2 to 5 years, and you're done. Okay? Just all you got to do is make sure that you got money in that account so the payment's clear every single month. And now you have properly built your credit profile. This is just the beginning. From this point on, you're going to wait a full year after you've added all these lines of credit, let your credit age, and then at that point, you go after the Discovers, the American Expresses, Citibanks, the Chase Banks, Barclays. All those big boy credit cards are going to give you big credit limits. Let your credit age. That's how you build a credit profile when you have no credit and you just turned 18. And listen, if you want to wait even longer, even better. So let's say you wait 2 full years from when you started to build everything out and you just let it build. That's going to be even better for your credit profile, because when it's time to pull those authorized user accounts off, it's going to hurt, okay? It's like ripping the Band-Aid off. It's inevitable. It's going to hurt. So, but if you build 2 years and then you pull the Band-Aid off, it's not going to hurt as much. And then you can move on very comfortably. But if you jump the gun and you go, you could do it in a year, but you don't want to do it in 6 months. You want to wait a full year, okay? People can do it in 6 months. I don't recommend it, but waiting that full 2 years is going to have that sweet spot. It's going to give you that age of credit that you need and let you build on your own. If you're looking to rebuild, okay, so we covered if you were 18 and had no credit. If you're looking to rebuild, go after the Creditcards credit card. It is a great credit rebuilding tool. And then reestablish a relationship with a credit union, okay? Do this at the exact same time. Reestablish your relationship with the credit union, get the Creditcards card in 6 to 8 months. That's when you pull the trigger to see if you'll qualify for a credit card with the actual credit union. Now you only have 2 credit cards. And of course, when you establish that relationship, because you learned from me watching my video, you also have a secured loan on your credit profile. So you have 2 things on your credit profile that are helping you move forward. And now you're going to go after the third 6 to 8 months after you started to rebuild. You've been with the Creditcards card and you've been paying on your installment loan, your secured loan. And then 6 to 8 months, you pull the trigger, you go after a high limit credit card with that credit union, a big credit union. And also remember, when you're rebuilding your credit, you get the Creditcards card, you do your secured loan, wait another 6 to 8 months, okay? You go get your credit card with the credit union, and then you can go see if you qualify for a Capital One credit card or a Discover It credit card, because you just do the Google search and you're going to Google search Capital One pre-qualify and Discover It pre-qualify. See if you pre-qualify, okay? And this is how you start to slowly build your credit as you're rebuilding. You don't need any of those other crappy credit cards, okay? This is why you use a credit union to your full advantage. Rebuild with them, use the Creditcards credit card, and then rebuild with the credit union. Stop getting all those crappy credit cards that you don't need. You see, I just made it so simple. I simplified the process as usual. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. okay? I gave you all the sauce, 2 different types, okay? I simplify the process. You don't have to complicate this. Don't listen to those gurus telling you to do all this, do that. Like, no, it's not rocket science, okay? Simplify the process, make it easy on yourself. Stop getting so many credit cards. Let your credit age. I'm telling you, I promise you, the more you let your credit age, the better position you're going to be moving forward with your future, okay? Now, make sure to watch this video that YouTube is recommending. It is going to be the video that teaches you how to get those high-limit credit cards with any credit union, okay? Go watch that video so you can learn more about that, and I hope you learned something and you got some value from this video. Thank you as always, and don't forget, subscribe to increase your credit score.